Hello, this is Max and Joey back for the third episode of
Episode three.
Frontlines podcast, and today we're just going to be having a more chill episode, not talking about anything too serious. First, we're going to be talking about
German man ordered to pay child support after ex-wife forges signature for IVF pregnancy. Now, first of all, why is this person not in jail? And
seriously.
first of all, they forced him to pay child support when she literally stole his genetic material. She literally stole his genetic material to make a child.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, imagine being a kid and, like, the only reason you exist is so, like, your mother can spite her ex-husband.
Seriously, I mean, a guy can get screwed by this just because of something that someone did wrong and knowingly did wrong too.
Yeah, so, like, what happened is 5 years ago, they gave their written permission for doctors at a local clinic to freeze the woman's eggs fertilized with the man's sperm so they could have children later in life. And after divorcing each other, she forged his signature so she could become pregnant.
Wow, that's disgusting, honestly.
And he filed a lawsuit after he became legally obliged to provide child support. And a regional court in the German city of Munich ruled on Wednesday that he must provide financial support for his child who has been born without his consent.
I don't know how often this happens. I'm guessing it doesn't happen very often at all, but this still is terrible. I don't know how, if you even take this to court, how do you justify this decision? It makes no sense.
But the sad thing is this stuff happens all the time in the United States, like stuff like this.
Yeah, but the decision usually comes out a little different.
There was like a man in Minnesota that had to pay child support for a child that he proved was not his own biological child.
Wow,
it was not his child, and he proved it, but he was still forced to pay child support.
Wow.
And this is like one of the first, this is like one of the only like MRA talking points I really agree with a lot, because like the thing with like the MRAs is like I feel like they just do the whole identity politics of the feminists, and it's like they do this exact same thing the feminists do, but just like the other way around. And like a lot of the times they're just as unbearable. But this is one of the points that I really agree with that they make.
Yeah, I mean, some guys can get screwed over by this kind of stuff, and some people take it too lightly, and it really happens, and it's a real problem. But sometimes it just doesn't get the same attention. Like if this situation was flipped, that it would be getting otherwise.
All right, so we're gonna do another article.
Yeah, it was a short article, but I think this was a very important point to make. I mean, this isn't something that happens once. It happens, well, not this exact situation, but these kinds of things happen more than you think, and it's really something to think about that we don't hear about this that much, and that it actually is a serious problem.
Yeah, the media's not gonna cover this.
Exactly, yeah. All right, for our next article, we're going to be talking about something hilarious and obviously untrue by the footage in Australia.
The flat earthers. So, it says flat earth bombshell. Australia is a fake country intended to cover up mass murder.
Wow.
An outrageous new flat earth theory suggests that Australia is actually just one big hoax. Now, we all know that the flat earthers are more advanced than us, and they're the only ones that are able to see this.
We need to make an episode proving that we are completely flat Earth, and anyone who believes the Earth is round is wrong.
We're gonna do. You see, when you get up on a mountain, where's the curve?
Exactly.
Where's the curve?
You can't see it. The Earth is obviously flat. Proof, guaranteed.
Dude, like the rapper like B.O.B. Dude, he like tweeted about that when he was like on top of a mountain, and then like he was like, I don't see the curve, and then like there were a bunch of like people in his replies that were like, that's because it isn't there, and it's like. Dude, you can't see it because the Earth.
Why aren't the people on Australia upside down?
It's like, yeah, like
no, it doesn't even exist. Never mind.
If you think that you've been to Australia, then you are wrong. You did not go to Australia. That was India. You went to India.
Yeah.
And the reason there weren't any Indian people there is that was an anomaly.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're trying to say right now.
Got unlucky.
The latest bonkers conspiracy theory doing the rounds suggests Brit officials dreamed up Australia to cover up a brutal atrocity. Now, what brutal atrocity? Is
Yeah.
it probably like the murder of
Let's hear about this
natives
one.
in the land they colonized? Because that makes sense. According to one flat earther, the land down under is all just smoke and mirrors and a ruse we thought responsible for greats like Kyle Minogue and Hugh Jackman.
Never heard of Kyle Minogue in my life.
We know who Hugh Jackman is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know-
Australia is not.
You know how Russell Crowe lives in Australia, and I think this is the second joke I've stolen from John Oliver on this, but Australia is very much the Russell Crowe of countries. And it says, Australia is not real, they wrote in a viral Facebook post. It's a hoax made for us to believe that Britain moved over their criminals to someplace. Well, where did they move them? Did they, like...
I think they're saying that they killed them.
Did they... maybe they, like, shipped them off the edge? And it's like, the thing about flat earthers is...
You know, you're going into
It's
space.
like-
See you later.
The thing about flat earthers is, no one's ever been to the edge.
Yeah.
Like, you think that someone would have been to the edge.
People have been to the
Like,
South Pole.
Yeah, like, how do they think that Columbus came to America? Like, if he didn't go across the Atlantic. And, like, how do we do shipping across the Pacific?
How do we circumnavigate the globe? How do
Like,
how do people reach the South Pole?
I mean, these people are just so ignorant of all the reasons they're
I know a lot of people believe in this ironically. They know it's not true, but there's actually some people that really seriously believe
Yeah, I
this.
feel like someday we should do a video for one of our podcasts where we go to like one of their conferences
Seriously.
and like we're like so we're trying to outfit an expedition to the edge.
I mean,
So if anyone would want to sponsor us, we're gonna go to the edge.
we called this Frontline Podcast because we want to go on the
We're gonna
front
go-
lines, go to protest and stuff, and see what that's going to be. Unfortunately, when we started this, we kind of hit a dry spot in terms of major protests. You know, the Women's March things are already over.
That's gonna
And-
happen in November.
Yeah, it's true.
So
but there was
maybe
no-
if we don't quit this by
March
then.
for Our Lives. That was right before we started. There were a lot of really interesting protests or just conversations that we could have went to earlier in the year, but now that opportunity's kind of passed, and hopefully we can do some in the summer or fall of this year.
Oh, right here, down here it says, yeah, like you said, they probably think that they killed the prisoners. It's a cover-up for one of the greatest mass murders in history. The Facebook post, which has been shared 50,000 times, goes on to claim that anyone who thinks they've visited Australia is terribly wrong.
I wonder
Where
why.
did they go to then?
Yeah.
I mean, where did they go? Australia, a member of the British Commonwealth, is home to more than 24 million people. Those are fake people.
Fake people everywhere. You know, Sydney, gone. Melbourne, gone. No.
You think that the Opera House is real? Those pictures are actually of a building
I thought
in
they were from
China.
Antarctica.
They're from China.
Oh, yeah.
China.
Can't you see that Asian architecture there?
The
Obviously.
Australia is fake theory surfaced last year, but it has its roots in a Flat Earth Society forum thread from 2006. So this has been going on for 12 years.
Oh no, they believe it's in South America. This picture shows that the Opera House is obviously from South America.
Oh yeah, some people believe it's from South America. Well, why has no one found an opera house in South America then on the coast? Because I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. You just have to go around the coast. You probably see it. I mean, it looks like it's a pretty clear day here. So
You'll see it or you'll fall off the earth first. All right, you know what?
yeah, let's do another.
That's
article.
about it for
We're
now.
At the end right now.
We'll be right back.
Making fun of flat earthers is going to be a new tradition for us.
That's true.
All right, and we have another article here. Iranian politicians set fire to U.S. flag in parliament, and well, this is not a big deal at all in my opinion.
I would disagree with that.
Like, but my basic opinion here is like they're like what they're doing. They're trying to like hype everyone up for a war. Like usually the mainstream media is so like against war and we're so like trying to keep ourselves out of it, but like they're being more hawkish than a lot of our politicians right now. And like they did this with Iraq, they did this with Afghanistan, and like whenever we're like getting close to going to war, and then they're hyping it up. They're trying to like fuel the flame, and it's like them burning a flag is not worth the deaths of hundreds of thousands of civilians.
I agree. I mean, we're not going to.
Like, we don't need to go to war.
We're probably not going to go to war
like,
with Iran.
Like
but
these people these Iranian politicians, like they're burning a flag and it's like chanting "Death to America," and it's like, well, this wouldn't have happened if Trump didn't pull us out of the Iran deal.
Well, that was a terrible detail. That was a terrible deal.
We should not have been pulling out of the Iran deal.
Yes, we should have.
But anything Trump does, you'll defend him.
There's been proof from Israel that they were violating it.
From Israel, you can't trust Netanyahu. He's trying to get us to go to war with them. This is exactly what Bush did, saying that there was proof of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. We didn't find anything.
The fact of the matter is, giving Iran millions and billions of dollars for not having nukes for 20 years or whatever it is, something like that, it's just not going to work. I mean, what happens when that runs out? They're just going to...
Well, there is 10 years. But now, they have no restrictions. I mean, 10 years is a lot more than 0. Now, they could make a bomb, and there's nothing we could do to stop them besides using sanctions. But before this deal was
canceled, still make a bomb.
We could... Yeah, but it would have violated the deal.
Now, I know,
this violates no deal. We can't stop them from making a bomb. All we could do is put sanctions on them. But, I mean, not everyone in the world is against Iran. And this whole being against Iran thing, I think we really need to distance ourselves from the Middle East. Because, what we're doing, we support Saudi Arabia. Then we can't support Saudi Arabia. They have horrible human rights abuses. They're
we did a segment on that yesterday.
Horrible abuses against women.
Fact of the matter is, though, they make us a lot of money.
LGBT in Saudi Arabia, and they're killing civilians in Yemen. But I mean, we can't support Iran either.
I agree.
I mean, we really need to. I think the Middle East. I kind of feel a little bit of libertarian opinion towards this. We shouldn't be getting involved in the Middle East. This isn't something that we need to be involved in.
I think there's some very serious problems in the Middle East, especially in the early 2000s.
Yeah, but we don't need to go. But whatever happens, we cannot go to war in Iran. That is the worst thing that we can do.
I agree with that. That would be terrible.
The last thing we need is another endless war against a country that didn't attack us.
But them burning the nuclear, but them shouting death to America.
Let them do what they want.
That's not a good thing.
Do we really need to bomb them?
I don't know. I don't think we should bomb them, but I think that it's stupid for them trying to incite war with America. If we go to war with them, which I hope we don't, they'll eventually lose.
Yeah, but if we go to war with them,
we'll lose lives.
What's going to happen? It's going to be another Iraq. It's going to be another Afghanistan. It's just going to be a power vacuum because America, we are not good at nation building. We tried it in Iraq. We tried it in Afghanistan, and now we created horrible power vacuums.
We did pretty good in Japan.
With Japan, well, that was decades ago.
Yeah,
and it's not. And
I mean, you look to the World War II.
The Middle East is a lot different than the Far East.
That is true. That is 100% true. Completely different demographic, completely different culture. Especially, it's so much harder because Japan was pretty secular. Yeah. It's really hard to convert someone's ideals of a religion. So it's a lot harder than to convert someone.
Rebuilding Japan was a lot different than trying to rebuild Afghanistan.
That is true. I agree with that.
There's no the Taliban in Japan, but I would only be in favor of going to war with them if they attacked United States soil. That is the only way I would go to war with them.
I'd say soldiers. If they were to come and attack United States soldiers,
we shouldn't even be in Iran or in the Middle East. We need to.
The Middle East has been a disaster.
Of Afghanistan.
But I think we do need to ISIS as a territory, not as an ideology. Two completely different forms of ISIS. Yeah. People need to do that. ISIS as a territory is almost gone. We need to finish them out. And then
the Islamic State is done.
It's a lot easier to say pull out troops than it actually is. But I do think we should be starting to get out of the Middle East because it is a disaster, and I don't see a feasible way in the future to fix it.
No, I think one of the biggest letdowns of Obama was when he helped revamp the war in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
the drone strikes. Don't even get me started on drone strikes.
Because this happened.
And Trump is increased drone strikes sixfold or something.
Well, this happened in Vietnam too, because you don't want to be the person to pull out of the war and not lose it. In this case, in Vietnam, it was losing it, but you don't want to be seen as weak.
We already lost the war in Afghanistan. We can't win. We're not going to be able to beat the terrorist groups there. They're just going to keep coming.
They're going to keep coming back. And there's always going to be radicals. That's a real problem, but unfortunately,
it's not fixable. And trying to get the citizens of a country that we're invading to think that we're the good guys, it's never going to work.
Mm-hmm. It's very difficult, and I think it's a real problem. But some of these strikes are good, especially when countries are bombing their own people. I think that's terrible.
Yeah, but there was no proof that Assad bombed his own people.
No, I'm not talking about Assad. But I'm talking about when America bombs military bases, that's better. But I hate it when we bomb or hurt civilians, and
I don't think that we should be doing proactive strikes against people that didn't attack us. We are not. We should not be in the business of starting wars.
I disagree with that. I think that if there's
we could do it, but we need to be able to prove that they did. Like like in Syria, when we hit Syria, there was no proof that Assad hit his own people, but the whole world came down against him.
Yeah.
Like, we need to prove that he did this before we try to we get close to starting a war in Syria.
Because unlike Obama, I do like how the America is a superpower, and I want them to keep being powerful. But we need to pick and choose our battles. And right now, the wars in the Middle East aren't going our way. And I think that there are definitely some really bad violations of human rights, but I think it's a real big deal, and we should be choosing and picking our battles wisely.
Yeah. So you want to move on to another story?
Yeah, I think we actually covered this one pretty well.
Yeah.
I think we're very different opinionated. We are very opinionated on this. Both of us have very different opinions, but I think we could find common ground, and I think
we'll
it's
probably
a good
have a
thing
lot more to say about this in the future.
Yeah, especially when we see how Trump's first term carries out.
There's a lot to come in the realm of the Middle East.
Yeah,
Sadly, we're not done with the Middle East.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, so we have this one's not serious at all. I know we said it wasn't going to be very serious, but then we got pretty serious on that last one. So this was more of like a joke article. And we have a man in court for having potato peeler in public place.
Wow.
And all right, so it says a man ended up behind bars after being found in a Dunfermline, some British town name, street with an offensive weapon, a potato peeler. It's like they classified it as an offensive weapon.
Probably like a knife or something.
What's he gonna do? Skin someone to death with it?
Get skinned
very slowly. Like, how are you arrested for this?
I mean, I feel like your fist can do more damage than a potato peeler.
This is like the thing I heard that's like, uh-oh, Max, I got 2 offensive weapons on me.
Got 2 offensive weapons.
Uh-oh. Fists. No, but like, this is like the thing where like, I heard there was a story I saw a few weeks ago. There was like a kid brought like a butter knife to school to like spread butter on like the
I
bread,
saw this one, yeah.
And then like they got like suspended for it.
Yeah, because they brought a dangerous weapon to school.
It's a butter knife. They're doing it. They brought it to spread.
I'll take fists over a butter knife any day.
It's not even like sharp. It's like just a thin piece of metal.
Mm-hmm.
Like Scott Walker 39.
And even at a school I used to go to, I remember if you found yourself in possession of a weapon, even if you self-reported it, you would still be in trouble.
Yeah, like dude, one time when I went camping a few years ago, like I brought a pocket knife with me, and then like I used my school backpack, and like I kept bringing that, and then like one time a few weeks ago, not a few weeks ago, I don't know why I said that, but like a few weeks in, I had my pocket knife in it was like the tiniest knife you've ever seen in the back pocket, and then like I realized that I had that, and I was like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna do if they find me with this? Like, I just forgot to take this out of my backpack.
You would get expelled for that, honestly. I think.
It's like I went camping and I brought this with me. I just forgot to take it out of the backpack.
Wow.
Like I didn't even know it was there. Scott Walker 39 of the James Bank Hostel, James Street, appeared from custody at some British name sheriff court. He admitted that on Saturday in Epping Crescent, a public place, he was in possession of an object which had a blade or was sharply pointed, namely a potato peeler. Are you kidding me?
I'll take my fist over a potato peeler.
It's like, are you? Yeah. If I had to choose between like defending myself or like with a potato peeler or my fist,
got my potato peeler and I'm ready to go.
Fist. Like you can't like hurt someone that badly with this. Like you can like take off some skin.
Well, you can hurt someone with anything, but honestly, it's not worth it to ban a potato peeler. What's the point?
And and his defense solicitor said that her client suffers from significant learning disabilities which have been lifelong. So they have built up a system in the UK that is so horrible that if you get caught with a potato peeler, you have to use learning difficulties. And it's like, he doesn't get that normal people know that you can't carry potato peelers. It's like, normal people know that you shouldn't carry potato peelers?
They've already banned guns almost completely in the UK, but now they're trying to ban knives.
We're not going to get into that right now.
Now they're going to try to ban knives, and now we're moving to potato peelers.
We need knife control.
You can't,
Gosh.
you need to keep your knife in a locked up safe
Yeah.
with kept away from the blade. The
Yeah.
handle needs to be in a separate part of the blade.
Your handle needs to be in a separate safe.
Yeah.
You
Double
need
lock.
you need to put the handle in a safe that is in your main safe. A mini safe in your safe with the handle in the second safe.
Exactly.
Double
Yeah.
safe.
I think that's the right way to do it. We need to.
Now that's safe.
Yeah. Now there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's going to be sentenced on May 16th. Are you kidding me? Well,
4 days from now.
yeah, this video is
This
gonna
video is probably
yeah,
going to be
this-
up the day that this guy gets sentenced.
No, this is gonna be up on like after the sentencing because we're recording this on the 12th, but it's not gonna be up till next Saturday.
No.
Yeah, because like we usually record and put up an episode on the same day.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much it for this article. Let's move on to something else.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. All right, so we're not doing an article right now. We're just gonna have a kind of a discussion about immigration policy in the U.S. Do you want to give your side first? Because I know that we have different opinions about this.
Well, I truly believe that people should be able to come to America. But I believe that the volume of illegal immigration is a real problem, because we need to know who's going to be here. And I believe that people who come here legally, that's a great thing to do, but people who come here illegally, it's illegal, and they should be. I don't think they should be sent back, actually. I believe that if you commit a violent crime, you should. I believe right now
Yeah,
those people should be on the path to citizenship.
That's a bit more liberal than I thought you'd be.
No, well, I don't. But I do want to make people that come here illegally. Well, right now our legal immigration system is so bad. It's terrible. It's so hard to get in. But
Yeah, we need to make it a lot.
we
easier
need to make it
illegal.
easier, and then we need
I
to.
think we need to have a merit-based system because like the lottery thing doesn't really work.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like if we make it merit-based and like we only let people in who haven't committed crimes,
Yeah.
we let people in like we let the best in.
And then we can make the people who come here illegally and deport them. That's my opinion.
I don't think that we should deport people that come here illegally.
I do.
I think that if they're caught here and like they're a violent offender or they've committed a felony here, then we should send them back. But I think that just sending them back won't really accomplish what we want because there's no guarantee that they're going to be in prison there. I think that if
Well, the
we're
fact of the
going to
matter is-
deport people that have committed a crime in the United States, we need to have a deal with the other country that we're deporting them to, so we can extradite them to that country where they will be put in jail for the crimes they committed.
Well, if we don't. Well, the thing is, if we deport them, then it's really hard because if we don't deport them, then they're just going to stay here, and
Yeah,
then
but
more people are going to come
The
over.
thing about them is like people who come here illegally. It's a struggle that you and me will never have to understand because we were born here.
Yeah, we're lucky.
It's a struggle that we're very lucky in that we were born in the United States, and I mean we need to like have empathy to people that come here illegally for their families because it's just people want to come. It's just a lot of people want to come here because I mean it's a lot of better life than a lot of countries that people come from,
Yeah.
and I don't think that we need to just deport people. Like if we catch someone who's
That's
like
where I
who's
disagree
here,
with you.
if we catch someone here illegally who is contributing to society, they're here to help their family. They're here because like they wanna have a better life. Then we should not deport them.
I agree with that right now. But what I do also, what I would really like to see is a change in legal immigration policy where we know who's coming over, we know what they're doing, we know that they haven't committed violent crimes, we know who these people are, and then once we put a great system into place that can do that, then if people come over our borders illegally, they have no reason to, and we should deport them because we make legal immigration much easier. And for the people who right now that are here illegally, I think we should have a path to citizenship. I completely agree with that. That's a policy. That's something that Marco Rubio likes. I like it too.
Marco Rubio, climate change denier.
No, I in that case I actually really agree with him because people right now that come over, I know some situations of people that have had really terrible lives and being threatened in the countries that they came from, and they come here and they're searching for a better life, and I'm okay with that. But I wish that we can make it easier for it to be legal, so we know who everyone is that's coming over here.
Yeah, and about like DACA, I think it was really disappointing when Trump got rid of DACA. Like, there's no reason to get rid of them. They didn't choose to come here. Like, but I mean, the whole DACA debate has come and gone. Like, most people agree that we should have DACA. These people, like, why would we send them back to a country that they don't know? But
Yeah, I think sometimes it can be a real thing because we paid so much money on DACA.
What about something like circular flow? Do you know what that is? Circular flow.
I haven't heard much about it.
It was something
but
that
I've heard of it.
before like the Reagan administration, when people
Oh yeah,
people
I know what you're talking about. I know
people
what you're talking
supported
about.
a lot more border restrictions. It was basically like we would let them come, we'd
And
let
then they
people
leave.
come in
Then they
to
leave.
come, they work, they get some money for their family, they come back, and like really like what strong border restrictions is doing, like it doesn't keep people out, it keeps them in.
Well, I
Because
would.
they're not gonna leave if there's border restrictions.
I would disagree with that because it also keeps people out. But the thing is,
I mean, but,
I
like,
know I've actually heard a lot about circular flow. I just didn't know the exact term for it. But if we make borders lighter, people are just going to come in and we don't know who they are, and that's what I'm not okay with. If we don't know who people are, then they can be murderers. They can be whatever.
We should know who we should have like security there, but we shouldn't be turning people away who come to the border.
I think we should.
We should know who, if we know like
I think we should.
if they come to the border and they try to get in and like they go through a process there, then we should let them in.
I agree. If someone wants to come here legally, I want to make. That's what people.
Like the thing about like
that's what I think conservatives need to do more. They need to understand that immigrants can really help society, and I think most conservatives do believe that. Unfortunately, some don't. But I think that conservatives need to understand the fact that a lot of I'd even say most of the people coming over here illegally and legally are producing to society, and I think we need to really enforce the fact that people should be able to come here legally.
Do you want to move on to something else? I thought of something we could do.
What's that?
Oh, do you want?
Yeah, sure. Okay, we're gonna end this off here. We're gonna have one more segment, and then we are going to call this one quits. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in a second.
We got one more second. All right, so for this last thing that we're gonna do, I have a map of the United States with the political topics that state Googles more than any other state, and I'm gonna name the topic, and Max is gonna try to guess what states or state that is that I'm referring to. This might go horribly, but we're gonna try it. It might be fun.
And every time we get a state, we're gonna discuss it and and try to figure out why the state has its topic.
Yeah, but we'll try to keep it quick because we have a lot to go through.
Yeah.
All right. Number 1, Dick Cheney.
Ooh, I
horrible human being.
Oh, he wasn't a horrible human being. God, I actually don't know this one.
This might surprise you. It's Washington.
Wow, that is surprising.
I know, and you might guess this one. The Second Amendment.
Ooh, Texas.
No, it's not a conservative state.
Oh, California.
No, it's not New Mexico. Arizona.
Arizona's pretty conservative, but
it's kind of conservative. They did vote Trump, but I mean it's kind of a swing.
Yeah, I was gonna say California because I was thinking like
California is another very liberal issue.
California, I mean, a lot of people can't stand the Second Amendment. We're actually both pretty for it, but like I'm very for it. I think Joey, I don't know exactly his position on it.
I'm a little less for it, but I am usually pro gun.
Yeah.
And how about Hillary Clinton?
Ooh.
Who needs to get out? We don't want to see her anymore.
That could be
lost.
That could be New York.
Hillary, you lost.
We're
done from you. We're done with you.
I would guess New York on that one.
It is in New England, but it is not New York.
Okay. Ooh, Maine?
It's not Maine. It's actually it's New Hampshire.
Okay.
Didn't they almost go Republican?
Yeah, they were actually very close. They were a leaning Democrat state the whole time.
Yeah.
I think they were actually safe Democrat, but on election day they actually voted a lot more Republican than people thought they would.
This next one is something that I actually care a lot about, but I don't think gets enough attention. Is prison reform.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with Texas on that one again because
it's Massachusetts.
Oh really? I was gonna say Texas because they do the death penalty more than anyone by far.
Texas picked something that's pretty.
And by the way, I have to say, most people of my political background are for the death penalty. I'm actually very against the death penalty.
Yeah, I'm against the death penalty in all cases.
Well, for me, it's because I believe in the sanctity of life, and I don't think we should be killing people. Just in general, in warfare, I'm fine with it because that's completely different.
Yeah,
but
I'm more of like a nihilist and an atheist. Like I don't have like a whole sanctity of life thing, but I'm against the death penalty because I mean like 4% of people on the death penalty are innocent, and we shouldn't be executing people who are innocent.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. I agree there, but yeah, not for that same reason.
One person being executed that did not commit that crime is one too many people. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree.
But like, if we had a way to 100% know, because like you can't know, like we may be able to prove him guilty in court, but you can never know for sure unless
Yeah.
you were there and you personally know. But like, unless there was a way for us to know, then I'm against it completely.
Yeah.
All right, but dude, I think you should guess Texas. It's pretty surprising. Here.
Huh. Yeah. Wait. So let's see. Would it be religion or something like that?
No, it's not religion.
Oh.
It's
Give me a hint.
Planned Parenthood video.
Really?
People in Texas are trying to watch abortion videos. That seems pretty depressing. It's like you're trying to punish your kid for something they did bad, and it's like, I could have done this to you.
Oh god, that's terrible and funny at the same time, but still terrible.
Yeah, it is horrible. something down in Alabama that probably shouldn't be voice crack. Probably shouldn't be controversial anymore, but I guess is in some places now.
Let's see. Wow. Would it be?
It's something that I'd say almost everyone that supports in this country.
Give me a hint. I need something a little more to base that off of.
I try to think of a hint that won't give it away. I was gonna give it away, but it has to do with one of the institution of marriage.
Oh, gay marriage.
Yeah, same-sex marriage.
Well, I mean, Alabama is still pretty against gay marriage, even though it's nationally legal, which I think is fine. Honestly, I don't love gay marriage, but I don't think that the government should refuse the right to marry someone. So for me, I just don't care.
Yeah, I don't. Like one of my positions on a lot of things is that I don't think the government has a right to meddle in your personal life. Like I have that opinion on like marriage, drugs, freedom of speech, religion.
Yeah, I
guns.
agree. I agree with that for the most part. I'm not for legalizing drugs because of many reasons.
I am for that, but we can talk about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would turn into like a 20-minute conversation, so I don't want to get into that right now. But for the most part, I'm for that kind of stuff that you're saying.
Yeah, let's do one more state. Actually, I think there's a couple that have this one. But I'll just go with You want me to do a topic and you guess states for this one?
Sure.
Let's actually go with net neutrality, which is kind of out of the public lexicon at this point, but I mean it really shouldn't because it's still gone and we still need to fight for it.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really care that much about net neutrality, but this could honestly be any state.
One of my biggest things is like not liking corporations.
I guess I'd guess something like Florida, but honestly,
it's actually in the West.
The West, okay.
Yeah.
Nevada, sure, why not?
I'm thinking Mormons.
Oh, obviously Utah. But that one could be honestly anything because it's not really I don't know why it would be Utah over any other state.
That one's a kind of random one.
Yeah.
But like some of them you can tell like in Georgia it's states' rights.
Oh yeah.
In South Carolina it's Confederate flag. Like you'd be able to guess with some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like in Planned Parenthood in California.
I think that's another good topic.
Maine is socialism.
Maine is socialism. I would assume that would have been like Vermont or something. Okay, now I'm gonna look at it because
Vermont is actually climate change.
Vermont's climate. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Minnesota, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, that makes sense.
14th Amendment in New Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the 14th Amendment is.
Second Amendment, no. Keystone Pipeline.
I could probably think of
Nebraska. That makes sense. If you were to told me Keystone Pipeline, I would have definitely guessed Nebraska. That would have made sense.
For some reason, I thought it was like North Dakota.
Part of it.
Is it North Dakota?
Yeah, part of it. It goes through both.
Yeah, because I saw something about it in North Dakota. All right, do you want to wrap this up now?
Yeah, so thanks for watching this third episode of the Frontlines podcast. We'll be back next week
right
for
as we're ending,
another
Max's
episode.
dog is starting to bark.
Come on. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks
for watching.